What is up, guys and gals? Welcome back to the Nerd Castle for the next episode of Battlefleet Gothic Armada. My name is Splattercat. Happy to have you here today, as apparently we lead a pair of twin captains into combat. They both look identical. How unexpected. In the previous episode, we had rooted out Chaos. We had rooted it out so hard. Chaos had tried to roll up on us like Skeek Skirk, and we were like, nah, not in our neighborhood. And so we rolled up on them with our dauntlesses, and we reduced them to ash. We said, heretic, burn! And burn they did before being sucked into the vacuum and then having their blood boil and freeze at the same time. Fun stuff. Fun stuff. Let's go ahead and jump back into the game.
You've exceeded my expectations, Admiral. I would like you to meet Fabricator Cambrius. He is in charge of the Adeptus Mechanicus shipyards at Port Moore.
Admiral, you and your fleet can repair and upgrade your vessels at Port Moore. By the Omnissiah, my tech priests stand ready to assist you. Your current rank allows you access to the most common classes of vessel. As you grow in renown throughout the Gothic sector, larger classifications of ships will become available. Follow me, Admiral Spire. I wish to show you the sacred shipyards of Port Moore.
We're on a merit system here. You can't fly the big ships. Even though you're the highest rank in the military, you can't fly the good shit yet. You gotta earn it. We got a cruiser slot. Cruisers are pretty badass. I like cruisers. And then we get an extra deployment per turn, which is not something that I ever had to deal with when we were playing Skirmish. When you're playing Skirmish, you just have a list of ships and you go to battle and you fight over and over and over again. This, I think, is going to be a little bit more like the series on, I guess, Dawn of War 2, where you have deployments per day and you've got to keep things from happening in different areas, and you've got different, as long as you stay on top of it, typically you can handle everything and it's not too drastic, but if you start screwing up, that's when you really get into trouble.
Port Moore is the largest and most sophisticated harbor in the Segmentum. Here, you can see what services are available to you at your current rank, experience, and renown. There are several shipyards in operation at Port Moore. Follow me, Admiral, and I will lead you to the docking bay. It is time to show you what my shipyard can provide to meet the needs of your fleet. This panel displays the statistics of an individual vessel. Using this interface, you can see your ship's standard characteristics. The weapons of your ship are also displayed here. Pay close attention to the weapons information displayed here in order to better understand your ship's capabilities. This panel displays the general attributes of your ship. Select the Crew Management panel to see more. Admiral, this is the crew of your ship. Every vessel has a particular captain and a specific set of crew. By focusing your attention on an individual crew member, the crew can improve their skills and benefit your ship in many different ways. The captain of this ship has earned a promotion. This grants you access to better quality crew. You should start by improving the skills of your navigator. He will then be better able to guide your ship through the tides of the warp.
I really don't want to upgrade my navigator. That's kind of a shitty upgrade. I don't like that the tutorial forces me to take shitty upgrades. That's like a really bad upgrade. This is an upgrade you take if you plan on losing a lot, and I don't plan on losing a lot. Typically, I would dump everything into Master Gunner first, then I would dump everything into Crew Rating, and then after that, I would just start dumping it into other areas. But for right now, I guess they're going to force me to do this.
In addition, reconditioning will reset your crew abilities. Now, take a look at the ship's upgrades. You can install a new module on the light cruiser. Different systems on each ship can be improved with modules and upgrades. Such systems include engines, decks, and weaponry. These improvements are acquired by gaining renown during your missions. I have set aside an additional void shield for your ship. You can install it now to improve the ship's shield rating.
I also do not want this upgrade. This upgrade is okay. It's not as bad as it could be, but there are better upgrades that we could take. So essentially there are upgrades, there are skills, upgrades. You can actually do some pretty interesting builds in this game with your ships. You can make things to be absolute like boarding monsters. You can make them into like sniper targeting gunner type ships. You can do a lot of cool stuff in this game depending on what you play around with. It's unfortunate that the Shield of Truth is being mandatory right now.
Well done, Admiral. Now, Try installing a tech module on your ship. The modules you can install improve different aspects of the ship. These aspects include defense, damage, control, support, recon, and maneuver. The number of modules that can be installed is limited by the ship's tonnage. Now, install the Shield Overload module. This will boost your shield's effectiveness for a short time during battle.
I definitely don't want this one. This is kind of a garbage ability. It's okay, I guess, but there are better abilities. This one is, unless they buffed it since beta, cooldown is still 2 minutes, duration is only 10 seconds. Yeah, it makes your shield impervious to damage for 10 seconds, but 10 seconds in this game is like 2 volleys. Nothing's going to happen in 2 volleys. The only thing you would ever use that for is maybe blocking torpedoes or like an especially nasty salvo, but there are many, many, many other things in here that I would take before I would take this.
I must return to my communion with the machine spirits. Admiral, you should return to the sector map for your next assignment.
I would actually rather not. Can I unfit this right now? See, they should allow you to unfit this stuff for free without the cost at the beginning, because I don't want this at all. There are a couple other abilities that are better, namely this one right here that transfers shield energy in between ships is quite good. However, it's going to cost us. Let me unlock another cruiser. Or our first cruiser, I should say. And so we got to choose. We got the Dictator, which is a bit of a bombardment. He's got an ordnance launch bay. Okay, so this guy is a carrier craft. He carries along a bunch of little tiny just fighter craft that he can deploy on the enemy. The Gothic. The Gothic is a lance ship. So the lance batteries are going to be on the sides of this bastard, and then on the front, it's got the heavy prow torpedo launcher. I would actually prefer that it be all to a side. So they have the lance batteries, and then they also have something else that kind of corroborates that. This one right here has macro batteries and a Nova cannon. The Nova cannon is really, really, really good. I believe the Nova cannon is the gun that we had in the previous playthrough where you can fire it anywhere on the map like every, oh, I don't know, the cooldown's like a minute and a half or something like that. It does an utterly absurd amount of damage, if I remember correctly, and then it has a chance to like self-destruct every now and again. Yeah, it's got some scatter now. It looks like they got... The other thing that it used to have is that the Nova Cannon used to sometimes destroy itself when you fired it. But it looks like they got rid of that. Apparently it wasn't justifiable. This guy's got a lance battery. I really prefer something with a... Man, everything's got torpedoes. I prefer something with a heavy lance on the front, but I'll probably take this one then. It's got the macro batteries, and then it's also got the Nova Cannon, which I think is going to be a good thing. So this Dominator right here, we'll add it. That's going to be the Keeper of Retribution. And then we've got to fit this little bastard too, otherwise he's not going to be that useful to us. And so what I'd prefer for him to be... Well, there's a lot of things we could put in here. We could do probes, we could do micro warp jumps. Micro warp jumps can be nice if you're trying to get into position and you've had like some kind of weird maneuvering failure. Warp jump is nice because it allows you to jump instantly into the position you want to be in rather than the one that you are in. It's good for chasing down craft that are trying to get away too. We've got control abilities, so we've got the Auger Disruptor that makes it so that people have trouble targeting us. Pretty good. Mess up their detection range. The Stasis Bomb is nice. It slows the enemy down by a ton, which is great if you've got missions where people are being chased or attacked. We've got Taunt, which is good. It forces things to attack this, but it's only for 15 seconds, so act quickly. You know what I mean? It's not that useful. The Widowmaker. What is the Widowmaker? This is new. I've never seen this over here. So is it totally just a torpedo boat? Is that all that it does? Oh, but it's got a big-ass detection range, too. Okay. I probably won't play around with that much. It doesn't seem that good to me, but I might. It could happen. Let's give him some kind of ability here. I'm going to give him the shield transfer ability because I like it a lot. And then I'm also going to give him... What you could also use is you get more of these slots, so if you're worried about it, don't panic. You get more of these as you level up. This ability is really, really good in collusion with Taunt. If you run Taunt and then you put up the Impenetrable Shield, that's pretty solid. That's not a bad lineup. We can also condition his crew. Let's give him a Master Gunner upgrade, which increases our accuracy. Or no, it increases our critical chances on all of our weapons by 25%. Crits are very, very good in this game. Crits are like hardcore. They make people cry and die, and then they stop flying through our hemisphere. Makes me happy. I can fit something on him right now, too. Or I can fit something extra on you. Plasma bomb's pretty good, too. Let's go with a stasis bomb, because we're going to need it anyways at some point. So we'll throw a stasis bomb on the Dominator. Let's go back to the sector. We're going to need the stasis bomb either way at some point, so we might as well take it now.
The sector's High Strategic Council has met at Port Moore. The Council has a plan to secure the Gothic sector against these invaders, and you play a key role, Admiral. I will contact you soon to brief you on your next assignment.
Oh, we got the turn. Okay.
Our supply lines are being raided by Orc Pirates. Several reports indicate that the Greenskins are harassing our forces, keeping them off balance. Admiral Spire, your orders are to escort an important Imperial convoy of equipment and food to Bladen. This world is suffering from the predations of the pirates, and millions will starve if these supplies don't reach their destination.
Orcs have been detected in the sector. They will fight to take planets from you. Be aware that any system under their control will give you penalties depending on the system's type, and make them more aggressive. Orcs have a moderate chance of attacking a system each turn. For each planet they control, they have an increased chance of launching another attack. That's basically how it works, because orcs leave spores all over the place. That's how they breed. They don't have sex or anything like that. They leave spores everywhere, and then the spores grow into new orcs. And so anyways, when they take over planets, they cover it in spores, and that makes orc infestations particularly difficult to take care of, because the infestation just spreads and spreads and spreads, and enables further invasions where further spores are spread. Convoys or missions. Yep, I know how to do this mission. So basically, it's going to be an escort mission. Hooray! Everybody loves escort missions.
The supply convoy is awaiting the arrival of your fleet to begin its journey. Many Orc attacks have been reported on the trade route along your course. Escort the convoy through the system and defend it against any threat. It is vital that this convoy makes it through to Bladen. You'll be in command of the convoy as it passes through the danger zone. The convoy will be safe from the Orc Pirates once it reaches the edge of the system.
Danger zone! Okay, so let's handle this thing. Get our Kenny Loggins on here.
The Orcs plague the whole galaxy from end to end, with their ceaseless warring and strife. They are a warlike, crude, and highly aggressive green-skinned Xenos race, organized in a primitive and brutal society, rooted so deeply in war that peace is utterly incomprehensible to them. Their ships are often ill-kempt, unreliable rust buckets, kept in operation only by the constant effort of Orc mech boys and their Gretchen slaves. Orc pirate attacks are brutally direct, with their ships rushing headlong towards their target, guns firing wildly as they come. They cannot be bargained with or bought, save with weapons that they will inevitably turn against those who tried to bribe them. Orcs have a need for speed. Their ships commonly mount a plethora of thrusters, boosters, and extra drives, usually all wired up to a prominent red button in the cockpit. Long experience have I learned that underestimating the greenskins is a fast route to the grave.
The Meg Boys part is kinda true. In general, Orc machinery shouldn't work at all. Like, that's the truth of the matter, is that their machinery should not work. but orcs are capable of generating a psychic field called a gestalt field, and they don't know that they do it. But it enables, so the more orcs that believe something, the more likely it is to come true. And so all the orcs believe that their equipment will work, therefore it does. It only takes the belief of like 1 or 2 orcs to like make a gunfire, for example. To make a big ship like that run, it would probably take a couple hundred orcs just believing that the ship is going to work. And since they're optimists, I suppose, the ultimate optimists, the ship does work. But yeah, there's stories of Imperial augurers and Imperial engineers finding orc technology, and they disassemble it and they analyze it, and by all means, this machinery should not work. And yet, if they put it back together and they give it to an orc, when he pushes the red button, it'll work for some reason. And they can't explain it scientifically, it just does. And so that's how the Gestalt field works.
All ships. We have reached the zone of space where the Orc Pirates are known to lurk. Stay alert for any enemy ships.
Acknowledged. My convoy ships are packed to the brim with supplies. If we lose more than half these ships, our mission will fail and Bladen is doomed.
If we split up the transport ships, we have a better chance of getting through the Orc Pirate patrols.
Okay, so escort missions. We've got to go from here over to here. The orcs start right here, right in front of us, and so we have an asteroid field right there that's in the middle of our deployment zone. That's absolutely fantastical. I actually kind of wish that this couldn't happen, but it limits our options. So what we could do, we have 3 transports. We can only lose 1 of them. If we lose 2, we automatically lose. So what I prefer to do, actually, normally for escort missions, is I deploy together, and I try to keep my ships on the edge of the table as we go towards the other side. And then I'll use these guys as a vanguard to stop any other ships from coming around and messing with us. Hopefully, if we're smart with our bombs, we should be able to handle this no problem. I'm going to place them kind of spread out, and we'll vary their course depending on where we want them to go. It really sort of depends where the orcs deploy too. If they all deploy over there, this is going to be easy peasy. If they all deploy right here, our success chance goes down pretty excessively. That's why they suggest that you put 1 like on each area so that at least a couple get through. But let's live life briskly.
Many enemy ships are converging on the convoy.
These must be the Orc Pirates. The Greenskins don't understand strategy. The Orc ships are likely to close in at short range and rely on their tough front armor.
The Orcs are also eager to fight. These savages will try to board our ships, and they won't hesitate to ram anything in their way.
All ships, prepare for battle.
Alright, so our goal for right now is we're going to stick these guys on full burn, because we want them to head these guys off. We want them to be there by the time these ships get there. And so we're going to send them straight for the target zone. At least that's what we're going to try to do. I'm going to try and hide him in the cloud, actually, for a little bit. So to the cloud with him. If I can hide him in the cloud, it'll make my life easier. I'm going to hide him in that cloud. And then you, sir, to there. You can shift-click to give a series of orders, in case you didn't know. I mean, that's existed in, like, every strategy game ever. So I figure if you don't know by now, you probably ain't gonna know. We got 20 minutes to get these guys across the border. Let's do this thing. We are doing some serious border hopping right now. You guys are all full burn, right? Kill your full burn. Go normal speed. I want to engage all at the same time. We're going to be very, very careful. Fire. Unfortunately, the Nova Cannon was slightly off right there. You see how it diverged from where I wanted to fire it? That would probably be... I've never actually seen that before. That's a change from how it used to work. So anyways, let's get you guys... used to be able to click them when they were in red dot mode too. Now you can't do it anymore. They actually made it more vital. Luckily, the cooldown on this thing is pretty quick, so it's not that big of a deal. We should be able to engage with this guy over here. I'm hoping that he's just an escort vessel. If he's just an escort vessel, we'll be okay. Unfortunately, it appears as though... You, sir, you had the Prow Lance, correct? Okay, engage to a front at 3K. You, sir, targeting. Targeting on board. You, sir, engage from the front at 3K. You, sir, you've got macro batteries to the sides with a range of 6,000. Engage at 3K to the broadsides. Get ready with everything you have on board. My suggestion would be the second those shields go down, we run strikes. Is he slowing down right now? I think we have a torpedo opportunity right here. I'm gonna tell you to torpedo when you think you can get a hit off. Like, if you think you've got it, you go for it, boo-boo. We're gonna have a very carefully crafted boost right here if we want to get through. Otherwise, that ship is gonna be problematic for us. However, they're sort of dogmatic. I guess dogmatic's not the right word, but they're kind of single track in the way that they tend to chase this down. We're gonna call him priority number 1. We're going to call that guy priority number 2 when he comes on. You can arrange the priority of fire through here, and we're going to focus on his engines because we want his engines down right now. Let's get people boarding. Lightning strike was a failure on both ends. That's very, very unfortunate. Not my favorite thing to have happen. Unfortunately, it has happened, and there's not much that I can do about it. What we want right now, he's been identified. We're going to boost him right now. All ahead full. And then he may or may not stop to try and engage right here. He is going to ram it, but he's going to miss. Ah, okay, so you little guy are going to be the next target, so you need to get the hell out of the way. He's on fire. We're going to run repairs to get rid of those flames. And then for right now, what we'd like to do is trap him away from the battle. Oh, we can't fire off the table. But we want to trap him.
For bringing us more loot, we're going to take all your transports, and then we'll see how your ships fight, human.
This is the
He's been identified.
ship's greenskin.
We need him to go quickly.
To meet your end.
I've heard that before from you, Yumis. Okay, boys, time to crump these weedy Imperial gits and bring me all their teeth.
Bring me all their teeth. We's coming for ya. In Orcish society, teeth are currency, so... Alright, let's keep you guys all nice and firing. Nova Cannon can't really do much right now, unfortunately. Let's go with a targeting buff. Lock on target's good right there. This little guy is still trying to go full burn. What I would prefer to do right here, we are going to wait and see what he does. He may try to ram. He's on full burn, so he should be able... And... hairpin turn. We kind of made it. We kind of made it. So now what we're going to do is we're going to reroute him over to here. Oh, he did take damage right there. That's unfortunate. Okay. So you, sir. Come about. Stay on him. Keep firing at his engines. Please don't let him continue firing. That ramming that the orcs do is a big, big problem. It's a pain in the ass to deal with in this game. So let's... I can't zoom out any further. Man, I wish I could zoom out further in this game. That's a big problem that I pointed out in beta, that you can't zoom out far enough to do a lot of this stuff, and it's kind of a pain in the ass. What I need is that bomb. Wait, what just happened? Oh, it's still got the detargeting buff. Or, I'm sorry, the detargeting bug. Alright, drop a stasis bomb right there. You, sir, go to there. And then off to there. Hopefully we catch him up in that stasis bomb. It's kind of like catching them up in like a space bear trap. And you know if Fat Albert gives you the advice, it's got to be good advice. So he should get caught up in the stasis bomb. That will stop him from firing and harassing those two ships, and it'll give him a fighting chance. So there it is. He's stasis bombed, and that's why I took stasis bomb so soon. You guys are gonna go full burn now that you've got the ability to get away. As soon as he's recharged, we'll give him full burn. We don't want him to go through there. We still want him to run the way he's running, but we're gonna give him a little bit more juice just to help him escape from the enemy. I would love to get 3 out right here. That would be my absolute favorite. Oh, he warped out. Good. Okay, so you guys, now then, you've got a job. Get him. You're going to target him as a priority, and you're going to get their engines. We may be able to get 3 ships out right now. Is he warping out too? What is he doing? He can't be warping out. Why would he warp out?
Activating tactical cogitators.
Oh, he fired torpedoes. Okay, I was going to say, everybody fire torpedoes. That's the principal time when you want to shoot an enemy with torpedoes, is when they're stationary and they're trying to jump out.
Enemy ships. I think you got them all.
Continue your course through the system to Bladen. We've already spent too much time dealing with these bestial Xenos.
The orcs are definitely a problem. Technically, the orcs could just will human beings out of existence, but getting orcs to all believe in the same thing is kind of difficult. And then on top of that, they wouldn't want to get rid of humans anyways, because the only thing that makes orcs happy is fighting. That's how they get bigger, stronger, and that's how they stay happy. Like, when an orc is depressed, he goes out and he crumps somebody in the face, and that makes him feel better. And so orcs just fight because they think it's fun to fight. They don't fight for any real reason other than, like, it's fun and they enjoy doing it. Kind of a funny thing about them.
The supply convoy reached Bladen just in time. The planet is thriving once more, and we seem to have prevented a disaster of immense proportions. In fact, several militia units of volunteers have formed on Bladen to serve the Imperium.
Lord Admiral, what about the heretics?
The planetary defense forces have completely wiped out any heresy, thanks to your help. Well done, Admiral Spire.
Of course, Lord Admiral. You don't want to confuse the Lord Admiral with the Laird Admiral. The Laird Admiral, much more musical, hard to deal with. Either way, we're out of time right now. We're not going to have time to start up another mission, so I figure everything after this is blind for me. That's all the content that was in the beta, so everything from here on out, I assume, is improvisation. So I will see you all in the next episode of Battlefleet Gothic Armada. My name is Splattercat, happy to have you here and serve alongside you as we defend the Imperium of Man from filthy Xenos. Later, everybody.